You must have seen this image if you're active in the anime manga community. The prime reason why this panel became so popular is probably because of how much it conveys in just one sentence. Why is the world this way? It makes you firstly think about what must be going on in the story of this panel, but then also forces you to reflect on a real world filled with violence. Why did our world turn this way? But then the imagery and art also conveys so much. Two boys pointing guns at each other, protecting their loved ones. But obviously, the most fucked up aspect is they are just little kids. This makes you read the sentence again. Why is the world this way? That even kids are up to no good. This panel is from a manga called The Horizon, written and drawn by Ji Hung Jeong. While this image is why Horizon became so popular, it actually goes much deeper than this. In this short 21 chapter ride, you go through a roller coaster of emotions. This manga is pretty depressing and quite sad, to be honest. Yet somehow you come out of it with hope and acceptance towards life. Let's just get into it. The world is in war where thousands and thousands of people die every day. Innocent lives crushed between politicians and their greed. The manga opens with a massacre in which a kid's mom ends up dying. The boy in denial tries to fix her by picking up her shattered brain and assembling it like a statue. He tries a lot to somehow get her mother back, but eventually he faced reality. His mother is dead. And to him it was the end of his life and his world. This traumatic experience builds a very fucked up outlook on life. He started viewing life as a fabricated thing that can be destroyed by man, and life merely exists to die. He got on his feet and began to walk. Step by step he moved forward as that was all he could do. On his way, he encounters more violence and dead bodies. But one day, he meets a girl on a bus, and without even a single word uttered between them, both realize they have shared the same experiences and are living similar lives. The bus gets attacked and both run away. They keep running until they reach a war zone, and now the boy's initial ideology is challenged. He thinks to himself, if this is how his life will be, then maybe it will be better to just end it all. But for some reason, he grabbed the girl's hand and ran with all his strength. Why? Why did he feel the need to survive? Both of them form a little bond and find an empty start of a road. They decide to just keep walking and going where the road takes them. On their way, they meet this strange man who the boy hates because he's not safe to be around. He punched the boy to get his water, exposed his pee-pee in front of little kids, and for some reason he's also following them. Yeah, he is quite weird. They wait for the man to sleep so they can quietly run away, but the girl feels sorry for him and wants him to stay with them. This turns out, surprisingly, not to be a bad idea. The man's behavior improves, he offers them food and is overall paying back their kindness. This is where the boy's ideologies are tested again. He wishes for a world with no hatred and everyone loving each other, and he hates how the world has turned out. But he himself is not able to accept a single human. So he tries to bond with the man, but later the man punches him away and starts touching the girl. And yes, I mean in a weird, creepy way. To save her life, the boy stabs him in the chest and runs away, ignoring his screams for help. He becomes exactly what he hates. He committed violence, and this is a big deal because obviously what he did is justified, but he still killed a man. To the man, is it fair? To his family, is it fair? The people who murdered his mom also definitely had some fucked up justifications. But is it fair on the boy? As they escape from him, a group of soldiers capture them in an armored vehicle. The boy has injured his leg, but they are quickly saved by this man in a suit. He lets them live in his house and also takes care of them. But the only help he asks in return is to help him with his assassinations. You see, this guy has access to all CCTV cameras in the city, and he uses them to spot people with guns and snipe them. He explains how becoming a killer, he saves many more people from death. The girl hates this idea, so she takes the job of cooking. But the boy not only helps him with this, but also learns how to use a gun. One day, the boy spots 3 men who the man snipes, but one of them remains alive. He is not injured but is terrified. He tries to escape, but the boy tells the man to stop shooting as he is no longer a threat to them. The man disagrees, which leads to a big argument between them, but as he notices the soldier running towards the building in which the girl is resting, He allows the man to shoot. Again, he allowed violence completely in his control. To him, he was saving his friend. But the reality is, he allowed a man running for his life to be killed. At this point, his initial ideology of wanting a peaceful world has evolved into committing necessary evil. The girl wanders around in the storeroom to find meat, where she discovers a bunch of bodies tied to the roof. Yes, they were eating human flesh all this time. A man begs her to free him, which she contemplates but ultimately agrees. They now want to leave this place, and as they do, again some soldiers catch them. But it turns out the man she helped is actually the captain of these guys, so he lets them run away and they continue their journey on the road. Even with everything these two went through, they ultimately somehow found happiness. They cherished every step they took together. They were happy despite everything. What they enjoyed was not artificial things, but just their bond, their company. They talk about marrying in the future and getting a house of their dreams. They were happy as long as they were together. The moon and the stars, the birds and the trees, the sky and the clouds. Everything existed for them to cherish. They wished this walk lasted forever. But eventually, it came to an end. On the other side of this road was a forest. They carefully enter the trees and start exploring it, where they meet another pair of a boy and girl. And their immediate gut instinct was to point guns at each other. And this is the origin of that panel. Why is the world this way? Both the boys are enraged, but the girls, being more level-headed, stop them. This is where you might think these four will become friends and continue their journey, right? Oh, only if the story was that forgiving. An attack comes their way, killing the girl and the other boy. His partner could not take it, so she shoots herself in the head. The boy, for the second time now, has lost everything he cared about. He lost his world again. And almost like repeating history, his instinct is to start going forward. He walks and walks, reaching a beach where he finally breaks. He falls on his knees, punching the sand in frustration. Why always him? By now, the initial message we all think the story was trying to send is already over. The world simply can't be a place where everyone lives in harmony. As the girl who throughout the manhwa refused to commit any violence is dropped dead on the floor, and the boy who didn't do anything crazy but still killed people when it's in his interest is still alive. So when I saw it still had 4 whole chapters left, I was rather surprised. What else can they show us now? Here's where we go back to the title of the video. We get a huge time skip as the boy is now a fully grown old man. He's living his life alone on a beach in a small wooden house, catching fish and reflecting on his life. This loneliness is really getting to him. At times, he feels like he's floating across the cold, dark sea all alone. He kicks his legs in fear of drowning. He feels like he does not even exist in this world. He looks up at the sky out of desperation, but all he can see is vast darkness. One day, he notices a small tent where a couple is living their peaceful life. They become good friends with the boy as they offer him food, they play around together, and he shares his entire life experience with them. Yeah, they are just enjoying life with him. But again, the story never does you good. As the couple was spending time on the beach, a huge wave comes their way and takes the husband with it. He's gone. The sea has sucked him in, and the girl, knowing there's nothing she can do, just cries in agony. The boy also just stands there and watches someone go through what he went through. He realizes this is the fate of a human. This is a reality that cannot be changed. Cry and cry until you can cry no more. That's all we can ever do. But this time, he believes. He refuses to accept fate. He runs and dives into the beach, going as deep as he can to rescue the husband. He finds him and gives him a big hug, assuring him they are going back. Now let's go back, he said. But as he said that, he questioned himself again. Where are we going back? Because the world above is still fucked up. Where we are going back is still just sadness and tragedy. This is where this manhwa surprised me. As they both drown in the sea, the boy hopes. He believes. He believes in love. He grabs the husband and swims upwards, reaching the horizon, successfully rescuing the girl's life and love. We must believe in love because above the horizon, The sun rises. The couple gave birth to a girl and the boy becomes a part of their family. He lives with them as a grandfather, happily ever after. Life took away a lot from the boy, but it also taught him a lot. What did he think of the happiness and sorrow he experienced? It was not an easy life, but the boy learned the warmth that could ease it away. He learned the warmth that saved him. Life will never be easy on you, and this manhwa doesn't tell you the world is eternally fucked or always good. It is self-aware. The world has good and bad, and a lot of times you will experience shit, but what's important is to believe. To believe that tomorrow will be a better day. To take happiness from anything you can. It may be a show you like, some food you enjoy, or someone you love. Just having hope in whatever you believe will ease your journey. God, this manhwa is beautiful.